I just got sad thinking about Godzilla minus one because it was like it came out during this real turning point in my life. It came out the week that I escaped sales.
Yeah,
I'd been in sales for like what 2.5 years at that point, and then
yeah,
I had just landed this new marketing job,
yeah.
and
It was December 2023.
yeah, dude. And then that week, I was like, oh, fuck, I'm free. I'm starting a new chapter in marketing
Hmm.
and I won't be in sales anymore. And then I saw Godzilla minus one the same week. And I'm like, that was the
Fuck
best fucking
yeah.
Godzilla movie ever. And it
Yeah,
was the best movie of the year.
yeah,
And it was like, life's awesome, you know?
yeah,
And it's Christmas time,
yeah,
you know? Like, it was like, it was just such a happy time, man.
yeah.
And then, like, full
What?
transparency, last week I was affected by this massive fucking layoff. I don't even give a shit. I'll say it. Like, you know,
Yeah,
no one fucking listens. Doesn't matter. We
yeah.
can be candid on this podcast. You know what I mean? And it's like, man, you just think back, you know, and you get sad when
Yeah.
you.
Jake
No.
cries in the podcast.
Jake cries on the podcast. No, I am fine. I'm fine. But yeah, it's weird. Like I've been thinking about it lately, dude. I've been thinking about that over the past week where, dude, you think about I don't know, man. You think about good times. It's like nostalgia is this weird liar, you know
Yeah,
what I mean, in a way,
yeah.
where you just think back on these good times and you're like, "Oh man, things were looking up." At the
Hmm.
time, you were like, "Oh, things are looking up. Things are going to be awesome. It's all smooth sailing from here on out," you know?
Hmm.
And then like something like that happens and then you're just like, "Oh, like dude, it was all kind of it was all temporary."
Yeah, it's so
You know, it
temporary.
was all kind of a
Look,
that's
man, you know, you in our lives we've shared a lot of experiences. That being one of
yeah.
them. So it's like I completely understand exactly what you're saying. 2023
Yeah.
was an interesting time, because I remember that that was an interesting time, man. Because we also during that time, that was also a good year for movies. Because also during that time we went to the Death Grips concert, which go back to the Oppenheimer episode if you want to hear about that. We watched Oppenheimer. To this day that was like one of the best days ever for me. Like we watched Oppenheimer in the morning.
Yeah.
We got to a hotel in Charlotte, saw Death Grips live,
Yeah.
and then like order pizza or something. Like we stayed up like for a long while.
Yeah.
That was a great time. But then later that year, fucking Godzilla came out, and you saw it like a week before me, and you were like, you have
Mhm.
to see it. I remember you saw it like literally you saw it 1 week before I did. You urged me to go see it, and we went to see it. And my girl, she was very spooked. She was like, "Oh no," and she had like nightmares about that fucking movie. But
Wait, about Godzilla minus one?
yeah, it was a scary movie, dude. It's a scary ass movie. Godzilla minus
Oh
one.
shit, dude.
But my girlfriend, she's a lightweight when it comes to like anything scary. She can't take it.
Uh,
So that movie was like that movie. She was not happy. She understood the movie was good, but I mean, she knew the movie was good. But she
mhm.
was also like, this is not. I don't like this big monster, like screaming and killing people.
Thought
Um,
Godzilla was gonna come up out of the toilet.
yeah, man, that's the one place he could come out of. That's like the one
Yeah.
place. Um, but yeah, and it's interesting because now we've turned a couple pages and we're in a whole different place in life, and a new Godzilla movie's coming. It's coming out
Right.
to bookend
Yeah.
this chapter.
That's the weird part about media and movies coming out is they serve as these landmarks. I don't know,
Hmm.
at least that's the way I think about life. I have this weirdly, it seems like you and I think about life in similar ways.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, it's like they're kind of these I have this weird, I just have this weirdly good memory where I think back on different times and I can also remember like what the movies were at the time that were coming out,
Hmm.
what movies I was watching,
Hmm.
because that's like that's so much of what we do nowadays is consume media,
Yeah.
no matter who you are.
Yep.
Even people that say like, "Oh, I don't really watch movies." It's like, yeah, but you're fucking scrolling on your phone all day,
All day.
watching
But
videos,
you're watching videos. You're
watching
consuming
sports.
exactly that. You're consuming some kind of media. It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's interesting, dude. 2023 is a weird year because I always look back on that year with this weird nostalgia. But that's why I say nostalgia is this weird
Because it
fucking
wasn't a great
liar.
year. It
No,
wasn't a great year for me either. There were like
no,
really, there were like some great moments in that year,
yeah,
but it wasn't a great year, you know.
yeah,
And it's
but
funny. Go ahead.
yeah. I was just gonna say too. Hold that thought. I was just gonna say that was season one of Film Tangents. It wasn't the beginning of us doing Film Tangents, but it was when we started taking it seriously and I posted shit.
Yeah,
And yeah, it was like it was that. It was it was it was a time where I was really frustrated with the job I was doing because I took a new sales job, and then I was like, why did I fucking like this is terrible.
yeah.
Like it was dude, I just hated the job I was working at the time. And like I was just frustrated. But there was this weird punk attitude that I had when then I'd come on to Film Tangents and we were just punks,
Yeah,
We were just like, fuck it, man.
yeah.
It's Film Tangents.
It's
You know what
so
I mean?
tangents. Yeah,
I don't know, dude. I have this weirdly like happy I really associate positive feelings with 2023, even though objectively
it
when I
was not
look
a
at it,
great
I was
year.
like, I know, dude. I look back on it and I'm like, nah, dude. But maybe
Yeah,
it's because retroactively, it's like that things were looking up.
yeah. Things were
Because
looking
like
up.
I know how it ended. I
Yeah,
know it ended well,
yeah, for
and I
sure.
was on to better things. But now those things are over,
Yeah, for
like
sure.
2.5 years later,
Exactly.
and it's
It's fascinating because
yeah,
I feel the same way. Where it's like that was a rough year. That like during that year I had the worst job of my life. You know, like in terms of just how emotionally and physically tiresome and challenging that job was. You
yeah,
know, so it's like I know for a fact that that was like a very challenging year for me. You know, but despite that, there were a lot of highlights, and I do look at that time positively. You know, because even sometimes like we remember the apartment that we had at the time. Like we think about that sometimes, and we're like, oh, that was a great apartment that we had. You know, that was a fun apartment, and we had like a lot of great memories in that apartment, and a lot of things that we did. You know, like there was a lot of things that were great, even though a lot of things in life at that point were not great. And like you said, like it things kind of went from there to look really positive, and like positive things were in the horizon. You know, and that was an interesting
right,
thing. Even though like you said, they didn't last. The positive
yeah,
things didn't last. You know,
dude. It never
but we're
lasts.
still going.
It never lasts, dude. There were people at my last job that I talked to where they were like, because it was a great job. And
Hmm.
we were all like, there were people there. I never went this far with my thinking, because my thing is like you can't get it too attached to anything.
Right.
It can just end, you know.
You're thinking
And
you have the philosophy of De Niro in
in
Heat.
Heat,
It's like don't get attached to anything that you won't be able to walk away in 32 seconds flat or 60 seconds, whatever it is.
exactly. If
Dude,
you feel the heat coming around the corner,
I bet you've been fucking watching Heat, bro. I bet you've been
dude. I
watching
watched
Heat.
it this
Of
past
course you
weekend.
watched Heat this
How do
past
you
weekend.
fucking know, dude? That's weird that you brought that up, man.
It's like you said this Heat shit, and I was like, dude, this guy's been watching Heat. I know he's been watching Heat.
That's so funny.
Heat's like a mind
No,
inception, dude. Because I know how I get when I watch that movie.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's like it's a fucking alpha
It
movie,
is an
man.
alpha movie. It's a great
It's a
fucking movie.
great mind. It's a good mindset movie.
It's a great
I was
movie.
like,
It's Michael
well, yeah,
Mann
because
doing the
I
Heat too. Is he doing Heat too?
yeah,
It kind of feels like it should be
yeah,
something that fucking James Mangold does. But whatever, go ahead.
mm, could see that. Yeah, but yeah, no, dude, there were people there that were like, "Oh, I'm gonna retire here," and I was like, "Well, I mean, I don't know if you will. Like,
Yeah.
I think the owners might sell the company before it
Before any
happens,
of that
but
happens, yeah.
I'm
And
like,
then we'll
I
be
don't know about
and
that.
then we'll be working for Slim Jims instead of for who we work now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, dude, we just got slaughtered, man. We got slaughtered. Like I've been talking to people this week, and we're like, dude, I can't even believe it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's weird. Like it's a weird thing because then you look back on like after it happened, I looked back on like this past December, right? You have your end of year reviews, right? And you get you get your raise, you get your bonus, you get your promotion. It's Christmas time, it's all happy, you're like, all right, here's your raise, happy holidays, blah blah. And you're just like, oh, nice. Like life's looking up. And then when this happens, it's like you look back on it and you're like, dude, that was all a lie.
Yes.
You know, you're like, I was like,
Yeah.
I was celebrating while heat-seeking missile was locking on to me.
Yeah. Oh,
You know,
dude.
like
I don't know if I've said
I
this.
just didn't know it.
I don't know if I've told you this, because like again, like in our existence, our lives have had a lot of symmetry, and I guess this thing with you being one of them, because it's something that happened to both of us. But it's interesting because recently I was thinking exactly about that. I was like thinking about something that I had thought about before. It was like it came back to my mind, you know, which was that before I had the job where I also got laid off from, like before I had that job, I had
Yeah.
another job. I was doing like a job in between. And I remember that I was doing the job that I was doing in between. I was literally just doing it because I just wanted to be working, while my
Hmm.
other job came around because we were doing like background checks and all this stuff. And by the time when it came time for me to start my actual job that I had been like waiting for, I said to the guys where I worked, I was like, "Hey, I'm done." It's like it's over. You know,
Yeah.
I was like, "It's
It's
done.
ogre.
It's ogre." I gave them like a 2 weeks notice or something like that. And and they were like, "No, don't go." And they like made me an offer. They were like, "We're gonna make you this offer." They made me like a financial offer, and I was like, "No, thanks." I
Yeah.
was like, "I'm
We'll
leaving."
give you a 50-cent raise.
Yeah, they're like, "We'll give you this." I was like, "No, I'm leaving," because I was like I was like dead set on leaving anyway. I was like, "It doesn't matter what you guys offer me, I'm leaving."
Hmm.
And I left that job, right? And so, like 5 months later, I talked to like old coworkers. Like they kind of start chatting with me. We had a group chat at that job, and they start kind of posting in the group chat again and being like, "Hey, how's it going?" And so I have an exchange with them where they basically say like, "Hey, the company went under."
Oh
And we
shit,
all got
man.
laid off. So like that job, they all got laid off. Like all of them went down.
You're talking about the job that you had while you were waiting for your background check to
Yes.
clear.
Yes.
It was like just gainful employment.
Yeah, exactly. And
Weren't
that's
you working with like kitchens or
yeah,
something?
exactly.
Like it
That's
was just like it was labor, right?
exactly, which is a manual labor like warehouse job.
And they all got laid off from that.
They all got laid off with that. And they
Right.
offered they offered me like a raise, and they offered me like they offered me like a whole different position. They're like, "Hey, if you
Yeah.
stay, we're gonna actually make you this, and we'll pay
Yeah.
you this." And I was like, "No, I'm not saying."
Don't go, Edward. We were gonna go belly up in like a month,
Yeah,
man,
right.
and then I'll be yeah.
But then 3 months later, they fucking shut down, dude.
Yeah.
And I think to myself at the time, I thought to myself like, "Oh, boy, I dodged that missile. I made the right
Right.
decision. But
Right.
then, like 6 months later, I get laid off. And so the thought that I had eventually was like, it was just happening. It was just gonna happen to me.
I know.
It was just coming. It was like fucking Final Destination.
Right.
Where it's like, oh, I didn't die, and I was supposed to.
You fucking cheated death.
Yeah.
You thought you cheated death, and it
Exactly.
was like no.
It was like, no, you're getting laid off, bro. It's like it's happening. Like you just like made it so it's not gonna happen right away. But
Right.
it's gonna happen.
You sped away from the flaming oil spill
Yeah.
only to get hit by the lumber truck.
Yeah.
Basically.
So
That's
life's
what
funny.
happened.
I just wanted to add that to what you said, because life's funny that way, where like sometimes you think back and it's like, oh, this shit was like coming for me.
Right. I
Yeah.
know, dude. That's the weird thing about life, man. It's just like this weird fucking. It's this weird. I don't know, man. There's like this weird fatalistic aspect to it where you're just like, fuck, man. It was always happening.
Yeah.
I was celebrating something that was not to be, that ended up not to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. You gotta be. That's why you gotta be prepared. If I can kind of I'll take off my bitchin' hat right now and put on my grind hat or my bossed up hat.
Yeah.
My girl always cringes whenever I say that.
Bust
I'm like that bossed up, man.
It
Gotta
is kind
boss
of
up.
it is kind of a cringe thing to say.
Juicy J, man.
Yeah, it is.
Um,
It's juicy.
you gotta be prepared, man, because like winter's coming.
Yeah.
You know, like Game
100%.
of Thrones was right. Winter's coming. Winter's always coming. And now I will say it's like I'm glad that I suffered in sales for almost 3 years because now I have this like great financial runway where I'm really not worried.
Mhm.
I'm honestly I'm kind of more down about it than I have any right to be because
Yeah.
I'm fine. Yeah, you got to have that Heat, that Robert De Niro from Heat mindset for sure.
Yeah.
And like be prepared, you know?
Yeah.
Like have a nest egg,
Yeah.
you know, have a savings.
Yeah.
Like have it so when that happens, you can take a week, 2 weeks, you
You
know.
don't have to
So I've
panic.
heard
Yeah,
some people
you
take a
don't have to hit the
month.
panic button and be like, "Oh my God," you know.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I can't even imagine that, dude.
Yeah.
Like not to you know, I'm not trying to be an asshole or flex or anything, but I really can't even imagine living like that, where
Yeah.
it's like, oh my God, I need something like I just got laid off. I need something in 2 days. You know,
Yeah.
it's like fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Then you just give up all your leverage.
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
But
It's quite something. But it's interesting. I think this is like a very fascinating like topic and a very good segue into the movie
mhm,
of the week. Because it's kind of like
right.
that, right? It's like it's this movie where like life just flips very quickly.